In a time facing the pressures of global competition, in one arena, the United States of America still reigns supreme, feeding the world. And in large parts of America's heartland, corn is king. Now, with an ever-growing population and declining prices for their crop, farmers are forced to do more with less, or go bust. Every year, America's corn farmers do battle, not just against unfavorable markets, mechanical challenges, and Mother Nature herself, but they engage in a contest against each other to see who can grow the most corn per acre. This is Corn Wars.
Okay, I think we're ready to move. Now nothing works.
Corn Wars, so we'll be duking it out. That's right. So we're kind of down until we figure out what's going on here.
I guess it's what you say, it's in your blood.
Kind of reality check.
Previously on Corn Wars.
Truthfully, the most important thing is Mother Nature. I mean, you know, the 2-3 inch rains don't kill us. It's the 4, 5, 6 inch rains that really can wipe us out with the river bottoms.
Right now, massive flooding is impacting southern Indiana. Water is swallowing streets, railroad tracks, vehicles, and buildings.
We had 10 inches in 8 hours. Water was probably 3 feet higher than our head right here, running across. And it did that for 3 days. First thing when I seen Jonathan, he said, GoPro's exactly what we said, yep. The yield damage is lost, exposing the roots so we won't have good uniform root development. This is what sucks, like I said. Just all the kernels laid out. This corn will never make anything. Water went away, and then 3 days later we got another 5 inches, and it was exactly the same thing. You know, I ain't figured out where all this limestone rock gravel went. You see a lot of that. All the way down through here. Blew it down, and then you get about half a mile down in this field there. You got probably 2-3 foot of this silt where it just deposited. Now we got about a 6-foot hole in the field, runs all the way across the field now. It just flat out sucked, fellas. That's all I can say. Yeah, there where we were playing our contest field, it was from the bank on the pasture on that hillside all the way over to the highway was just solid water blowing, I mean ripping. We've never seen that. Never ever seen that. I mean, I don't know what to expect out of that gravy train cornfield now, the contest field. Like I said, it went down out there in them creek bottoms. It went down as deep as what we ripped last fall. I mean, you're talking foot and a half of dirt that's just gone. Kind of reality check. We'll go check your GoPro.
Swanson, live here in La Harpe, Illinois, which is western Illinois, about 10 miles off the Mississippi River. I mean, you go from flat and black to rolling hills. Here, it doesn't get much better, I guess, in my view. My grandfather's grandparents bought the farm in 1903, and successive generations have basically lived here ever since then. My grandparents lived here when I was born. We moved out here when I was 10, and I've basically lived here ever since. Generation 6 is living in my house right now. So I've got 3 little boys, so they come out and ride. Actually, the little one this spring, he fell asleep on the track. He's sat about 10 days straight. He was in the tractor all day long and slept and ate and everything there. So he's getting broken and everything. So for the last 5 generations, we've been growing mostly corn and soybeans. We grow some wheat and some double crop triticale, as well as raised cattle. And it's just 1 or 2 things, 1 or 2 little things can make a big difference when you're doing what we're trying to do. Right now, we are mixing the elite program for Genesis that we're going to use for the high yield plot this year. Let's see how it goes. Push the envelope and see what we end up with. So Dad and I have worked together since I got back from the Army, so that was 2008, fall of 2008. And since then, you know, we've worked together. Some days it's easier than others, as working with family often is. There's not a whole lot better job to have than to be able to work with your family on, you know, on your own property. It's kind of a dream job for us anyway. So after high school in 2004, I graduated in 2004. My cousin was actually killed in the invasion of Iraq in 2003. So that kind of was one of those formative moments you have where you kind of have to decide what you're going to do. And the farm economy at the time was good, but it wasn't great. Because my grandfather was served during the Korean War, so it's one of those things where it's kind of a family thing. As guys start to do it, their families generally continue to do it. 2004, I joined the Army. I was 17 years old. My parents had to sign the paperwork for that. And so in December of 2005, we left for Iraq. Iraq didn't go real smoothly for me. About 2 months after we got there, I received my first Purple Heart. Approximately 4 months later, we hit an IED, which caused me to be evac to the hospital there in Baghdad for Purple Heart number 2. Because I was a member of an infantry company, so we were on the front line all the time. The area we were in at the time hadn't had a Allied presence for almost 3 years since the invasion. You know, everybody worries about the people showing up at their front door, and I told them, you know, at the time, I said, as long as you're getting a phone call, we're still good, you know. But I don't think they were, when I told them that, I don't think they anticipated 2 of those phone calls coming, I guess, so. But we mostly survived anyway, we're still here, so. Yesterday we did a 54 entry hybrid plot right here. And then we put the Revelations trial in for Genesis there yesterday afternoon. And then I finished this field and started the one we're going to be in this morning. So, all things considered, should go pretty smoothly. You guys showed up, it could turn into a train wreck, I have no idea.
Firefighters tonight are attacking explosive wildfires that are tearing through Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and Colorado. At least 6 people have died, more than 1 million acres have burned, and thousands have been forced from their homes.
We're expecting between 20, maybe 25 mile per hour winds. I mean, at one point we were told that the fire was jumping 1/4 mile.
For Western farmers, their early season was one of fire and ice.
The National Weather Service reported 10 to 20 inches of snow fell within a 40-mile band in northwest and central Kansas last weekend.
You get down to 0 at night, and that's pretty cold. There's some times when you get 0 for a high for 4 or 5 days, and that's pretty unique.
My name is Mike Roser. We're here in Arapahoe, Colorado, America. It's kind of the middle of nowhere. If you like dirt in the air as well as on the ground, then this is the place for you. The people who know what they're looking at will look at that and be like, what the f***? Get big, dude. So what we're going to be doing today is we've got the planter setting up. Steve's getting ready to get it set. We're going to go try it and see what the conditions are like. So what I'm doing is I'm blending up some fertilizer for him right now. This fertilizer is just an in-furrow mix. That's basically all I'm doing, just mixing up a bunch of different products, getting the right mix for our soils and our farm, and hopefully Mother Nature cooperates and it'll pay us back. For anybody who does farming, there's no flat rates that work everywhere. So a lot of farms, they tweak this or tweak that, and it's the right answer for them. So we've experimented with a lot of these products for several years, and we found a mix that we like. We're always trying more though. I mean, we're not sitting where we're at now. We're going to be doing a lot of different trials again this year. I don't know very many farms who don't. This stuff here, we're running 10 quarts per acre of this. But when you do 100 acres, all of a sudden that's a pretty big amount of stuff. You do 1,000 acres, those zeros add up in a hurry. We'll have to probably adjust what we put in instead of full token. So we'll put a little water in this hog, just so things blend a little easier. There's definitely times when you put in lots of hours. I've done several 48-hour days in my career, and those kind of suck after a while. But it's what you got to do. Sometimes there's just no other option. You can only get so efficient. Your equipment's only so big. If you need to get more done, you just need to add more time. I approve of this message.
Grew up on a farm and just always enjoyed it. I guess it's what you say, it's in your blood. It was just natural. I love to work. I love the work of farming. Never bothered me to get dirty and get a lot done in a day. It's a way of life, and it's a good way of life. And I love farming. It takes an awful lot to get started in farming today. I mean, it takes a massive amount of capital, and it takes a lot of knowledge. Well, I've got two sons, and one's not interested in it, and one is. Well, I've been trying to help him while he's getting started. A young guy about needs someone helping him, and I'm glad to do it. Some people do probably have a misconception about farming, about just what it takes. A lot of people don't realize the amount of time and investment it takes.
For instance, like that tractor up there, that's I don't know, $600,000 machine, brand new. No maintenance, some will break down in some form. Anything that breaks costs money. That's just in there. And because it's green, it costs extra money. When I was about 8 years old, we built a house out on the farm, and Dad built a shop there, and we kind of started rolling. Might curse his name sometimes, but I love the guy. He's taught me about everything.
Good boy.
I guess I didn't know what I wanted to do when at the end of high school, and I decided to pursue a degree in agriculture because it's just kind of what I knew. I thought maybe I'd get a job somewhere else. I'd come home and it'd just feel better. My dad's out here doing all this a bunch of things that a lot of other people don't do. I'm just trying to learn the basics pretty much. Halfway through my first year of college, I lost my mom, and that really made me think how important family is. You talk to them and you kind of just take that for granted.
Meanwhile, at the Swanson farm in La Harpe, Illinois.
Like somebody was just spraying, but we got rain for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday now? And Thursday. I guess. I thought it was supposed to be dry all week.
Well, it was until yesterday. Every time I look, it seems like it's different. I have to shut that off. Yeah, I think I'm done. I got the seed loaded. Okay, I think we're ready to move.
There's some building truck stuff.
Uh-oh.
A break in the weather has finally allowed Matt a chance to plant. But it won't last long.
Always a relief to get going. Before we get started, we've got to hook our fertilizer supply lines up and our agitation lines to keep everything in suspension. That way nothing will settle out and should have a pretty good blend going forward here. So one of the reasons we're just getting started here, which is later than a lot of guys, you know, admittedly. One of the reasons we do that is because we want to get the seed emerged, get a strong start right from the jump. And that's something we can't do if that seed has undergone a lot of stress, causes issues sometimes. So that's why we're just starting today when a lot of guys in my area are pretty close to being done, if they're not done. We're equipped enough that I can go when the time is right, so that's what we do. Got a little failure. Looks like it was just dragging. Looks like we broke a zip tie and we're holding it. So. Hoses.
All the cuss words, just all of them all at once.
At the Desert Foxes farm in Colorado.
Well, it's not the protein so much as it is plugging up orifices. And I think everybody can agree a plugged up orifice is a bad day. Ain't nobody got time for that. Why is that son of a not catching? monitor right, got to fill it with seed, got to fill it with fertilizer, go out to the field, adjust stuff, and then we can go. So now I got to try to remember what our mix was going to be. Steve will get mad if I do it wrong. Rightfully so. Put a lot of time and effort into figuring out what we're going to do. I better do it right. Yeah. Oh no. Everything's always buried. I'm doing something wrong. Math is hard. It's got to be right though. 400 acres on that for one tote. Math is hard. It's hard. Man, this may call for pen and paper. That's pretty serious. Yeah, we try to use technology as best we can, but it's one of those deals that we're still learning how to do it and do it right.
I don't know what to do with this remote. I think it's
Oh, good. Great.
I'm gonna need a new one.
Yeah, so we need to go get one.
Probably.
We have a handy dandy remote valve thing so we can change all of our fertility sources, which is awesome when it works. Yeah, it was working before. Bet if we shut the cameras off, it'll work. And you know it's bad if I have to cut. Hey Austin, it's Mike Ruther, what's going on? Oh, just trying to get stuff going. I don't suppose you guys have any parts laying around, do you? Well, we've got one of their little remote valve selectory things. The remote on it blowed up. Okay, all right. I might call Martin and see if he knows if there's one laying around up there. Son of a bitch. Yes, ma'am, this is Mike Ruther. Can I speak to parts, please? Arapahoe, Colorado, America. Hey, Greg, this is Mike Ruther. How you doing? Greg, I've got a wireless valve controller of you guys', and I'm having issues with things working, and I don't know what happened. Everything was working, and then it just kind of quit. I've got a light on the outer part of it. It says it's got power, but we've replaced the battery in the remote, and we just can't make nothing happen. Sorry, let me see if I can hold my head a little different here. Is that any better? I'll try to climb a little bit, gain some altitude. All right, so that wireless valve controller, everything was working fine on it, and of course we get out to the field and then no, it's not. We've got power on the unit, it says so. We replaced the battery in the remote, and we just can't make anything happen. I see the little button back there on the back of it. You just push and hold that. Is this one of those you got to do up, up, down, down, left, right, VA start? How can everything work before it's time to go? And then when it's time to go, everything goes to man. It says we need to take the 4 screws off the lid, Steve. We need to take those 4 screws off the lid. We got to relearn it when we replaced our battery. So is there a button in there you got to push and then push this one at the same time so they know? Bottom right hand, okay. And then just push this one on the remote at the same time. When I'm holding it, it's solid. And then when I let go, it's flashing. I'm doing something wrong. Holding, 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 solid blue. Let off, it's flashing. Yeah, I'm doing something different. Yeah, it won't stop flashing. He's got to go talk to an engineer guy. Big money, no whammy. How hard do you got to push that thing? I think maybe our button's maybe that's why it's not working. Man, it just don't feel like it's pushing at all. Can I take that thing apart? Well, it's not working now. It ain't gonna hurt it. That one doesn't. No, nothing works.
Meanwhile, at the Swanson farm, with a compressed planting season, mechanical breakdowns take on extra urgency. He needs to get planted before rains force him back out of his fields.
So I guess the one thing we could do is just set it up, and we could go to Farm King and get, assuming they have enough of them, get a flanged hose bar. Well, we might have one. Get a flanged hose bar, cut that hose down, put a regular valve in it. Only thing is, do we have enough good hose left to?
Of this?
Of that other to make it match. Well, yeah, I mean this heavier hose. Because then you cut some of that off. Before we started, didn't you cut some off? So all we need is a new clamp. We've got the gaskets laying over there, and we just need to find a splice.
You got a major malfunction here.
You can do whatever you want to do. If you want to grow organic, then grow organic. If you want to grow non-GMO, then grow non-GMO. Each person needs to decide what they want to do and just do it. I'm not a big feed the world guy, you know. At the end of the day, that's exactly what we're doing. And you can say, well, you know, what you're really doing is raising fuel. And what you're going to do, there's too many people that are hungry, really hungry, to go around raising the cost of food. I've been to places where people are really hungry. It's a different environment. Yeah, I do stuff to make money, but we're not going to jeopardize our livelihood or our health or our family's health to do it. Yeah, nitrates, phosphorus runoff, even just straight erosion. So it takes too long to replace to watch it run down the river.
Okay, there we go. Now we got it. All right, we're gonna say we won, man. And everybody who says otherwise, huh? Steve's gonna plant this field and I'm gonna chase him out of the field with the sprayer. Well, there's some guys that are basically just gifted witchers for finding seed. They just kind of stick their finger down in the ground and they find seed. I could dig up 40 acres and never find one. Steve will find a seed. Steve's good at this. See, he found one already. Could be what, 12 inches? Oh, there's one. Holy, look at that. Found one. 2 knuckle deep, just right. Well, it seems like it's tracking good, what I was watching. I'm sure it feels different. Right. Well, I'll mix up another 100-acre batch, get it ready. I'll probably take the war pony and go load up the seed tenders this year. With the chances of rain coming, I want to be ahead of it. I've already got the mix. So now's the best part of the season so far. Things are running, and Steve's going to go to work, and I can just pretend to work. Bula, Daddy, coming for you. Let this serve as a warning. Look at that. That's the face of a happy man in there. So happy. Pure joy. I love it when a plan comes together. Steve's so bad. He's just going to run. They're talking rain here Wednesday, Thursday. And I doubt Steve stops much between now and then. He's going to get all irrigated corn and beans in. Steve really is the blood and heart of this operation. He cares so much about this deal. He's bad. That's all we need. It's a wrap.
I think he's always going to want to outdo himself a little bit.
First time I ever entered an NCGA contest was 2 years ago. Kind of did it for the fun of it. Didn't really expect to do anything. Didn't really try to do anything, and we got third in Illinois. That heightened my competitive spirit a little bit. And I thought, well, what if we tried? So we tried last year and we won, but we still were way under our goal because we had a couple issues through the year, but it was still good enough to win. So that's why I'm hoping this year we can do better yet.
You'll have to move your truck. Semi's going out. Because of the weather, time's always crunching and you're just always in a hurry. It seems like it's never gonna get done in time, but it almost always does.
You gotta go up kind of above and beyond if you're going for the top yields. You've gotta use a lot of biologicals. You've gotta use growth promotants, PGRs, and along with all the different fertilizers that you need. It was fun to have a goal and meet it, you know. I was kind of surprised that we won because we did have some challenges during the year. I didn't have the crop there that I wanted, but it was still good enough to win. It's really competition against myself. You know, I want to see how good I can be or what's the best I can produce on this ground up here. You know, we're a lot farther north than all those guys that are getting the big yields. But I think we're going to be able to push up. I don't know how close we'll get to them, but I think, you know, we'll be able to get in the neighborhood. And we've got more challenges up here. They've got their own challenges too, but I mean, we're just way farther north. Our growing season is a lot shorter. We have a lot less heat units, less sunlight, and all that translates into yield. And everybody wants everybody else to succeed, you know. Sure, there's some competition. You always watch, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. You can change a lot of different settings, you know, and you try to tweak everything to get it running just right. I wouldn't say I get bored. You can better utilize a farm's potential if you start gathering the data year after year. Will increase your yields, you know, in the end. This is one of those things we do with technology. I'm just basically going to mark a point here, you know. Now I've got it marked on here and I can go back and find it later. like that on there. You kind of can see the row unit running. You can see that the row cleaner's bouncing, but the unit itself is holding pretty true, and that's what you're trying to do to keep your depth consistent, keep that, you know, running solid, I guess would be a way to put it. Believe it or not, it's in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was my 50th birthday. I go into a tattoo parlor, and the name of the parlor was Precious Sluts Tattoo Parlor. The guy's name was Precious. It's Vegas, man, it's Vegas. So I sat down, 4 hours later, I could come out with this.
You lose money some seasons, and that's why Dad has some cows, and he does a little bit of excavating jobs on the side. That way, you know, if something does go south, you can at least get yourself through it, you know, or maybe make a farm payment or something.
I mean, the goal was 400 bushel.
He ended up at like 307 or 314, which is really high, but I think he's always going to want to outdo himself a little bit. That's a lot of work.
There's not many occupations where you have to borrow hundreds of thousands of dollars just to go do your job, not knowing what your pay is going to be at the end of the 6-8 month period of growing the crop and marketing it. I do believe that farming is a very noble profession. There's not any other profession that takes as much risk, I think, just laying it out there in the dirt. So many things could happen right now. It could pour tonight, it could, you know, be in the 30s for the next week every night. It could lay there and the seed couldn't come up. There's a lot of money going through those tubes and out that system right there. The hope at the end of the day is you make a little bit of return. A little bit of return. Not getting rich, just get a little bit of return.